Pranams, pranams to all of you. Okay, I will just request if you have any questions because this is a clarity session. You can ask. You can put it in the chat or you can directly put your hand up and interact. It's an interactive session. So I'll just wait for a couple of people also who are just joining in here. Just give me a moment. Yeah, Shilpa, please go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah. So, greetings.
Greetings.
Yeah. I have a small question. The thing is, this has happened with me, so I'm asking you.
Okay.
When you lose something, like, some things are misplaced. At that time, you don't remember anything. Like, how you misplaced that, how you lost that particular thing. And same is the case when I had a fall or something like that. You don't know how you twisted your leg or how you got a scratch or something like that. So my question is, like, what is this phenomenon where you don't remember anything? It just happens. So, like, I lost a couple of things a couple of months back to back, and I don't remember anything about it, how it was lost, where it was. Similarly, when I get hurt, I don't know how. I mean, you are careful, but at the same time, it happens. I know it is part of the destiny, understood. But then this phenomena of forgetting, don't know what is happening. So, what is this?
Lack of awareness. If you have very heightened, sharp awareness, you can pinpoint and catch anything at the bud itself. But we are not aware beings. Like, for example, everything that happens to us in our life, we are forgotten. Nobody right now in this room also can say, I precisely remember how I got this karma. Any event changing in your life, it might be an illness, it might be a relationship problem, it can be even a good thing that happened. Somebody fell in love. Ask them, when did you fall in love? Exactly. They might tell you the year, they might tell you the month, but no. Tell me precisely when did it happen? Can anybody point out? Can anybody say? You can't. So we do not know the precise moment of anything actually because we are not that aware. You can say God can know it precisely. We are not to that level. Like conception. Nobody can pinpoint and tell exactly what is your time of birth. Whatever these people are telling the time of birth is something that is being recorded on an approximate base. When you there is no precise time of someone coming out. There it's so much debatable in seconds. No, he came 5 seconds before, he came 5 seconds later. And if you ask, okay, baby came out at that time, when did it conceive inside? Nobody has any idea. So basically, we are random beings. We do not have precise idea of things happen. That is where Upadesharam verse 1 says that everything is destined and it happens as a predestined manner And because it is happening through some external, what you call as phenomena, you're not aware of it. That phenomena is larger than our minds can hold. So these things our minds cannot catch. Like I told you, all these practical things, anything you say in life. I had a turning point in my life. Good times began. You ask precisely when, nobody will know. Bad times began precisely when, nobody will know. Or approximately. So nobody knows when the twist is happening, because the twist is very, very subtle. You need that kind of sharpened awareness to catch everything before it happens. There is this awareness that we have got three stages. One is things happen to us, and after some time we become aware. I got angry and I did something. I said something, my actions were bad. And then after 1 hour, I came to know, oh, I shouldn't have done that. I'm aware, but too late. A little more evolved state is when the anger is happening. It starts in me anger, and I spoke one or two words, and then I become aware. Oh, anger has taken over. It's much earlier. Now here also you see there is no precise point. I got angry. When did you precisely get angry? You cannot pinpoint. What made you angry? You can say that person made me angry, and then tell precisely when did it begin. After that person said something, when exactly did you? Nobody has any idea. He'll roughly say, I don't know. All that I remember is somebody said something and I got angry. The process where it begins, nobody knows. Starting point. So that is all on awareness. So if the awareness evolves to such a state that one is after the problem happening, you become aware that this happened. And one is while it is happening, I become aware it's happening. And one stage is just when it's about to happen, you are aware this is now sprouting into some big problem. We can become aware that way also, right? Like anger is coming in the start of that sensation, and very evolved being will know here comes a problem. So he'll be able to stop, nip it at the bud. So it's all heightened states of awareness, which we can only through that we can catch it. All these things, whatever happens. Does that
Oh,
answer?
yeah. It does. Because I was just wondering that, how this happens, only that particular moment, that particular thing, you don't remember at all. And something also tells you that you have something inside you makes you search for the thing which you have lost after few days or few moments or after a 1 hour or so, not at that time. So I was just wondering, what is this phenomena? Like, that time you don't know anything, later on something tells you inside that, yes, Ari, where is that thing which I had and now I don't have it? Like, I have lost it. I mean, you don't even remember also. And then later on, like, something inside tells you that, you look for it, that thing, and then you come to know, oh, I have lost it.
There also, if you check, if I tell you something told me, when precisely did that something tell you? You'll have no idea.
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
remember. When did you remember precisely? You'll have no idea. You'll start scratching your head. When did I remember? Yes. In the morning, I remembered. After this incident, I remembered. While I was taking this, I remembered. But precisely, you'll not able to be able to catch that point, because we missed it because of lack of awareness at that time. So if awareness is not there, it's not registered by the mind. So there is no memory also about it. And that is how life is. Life, you look, the whole life that goes around, it doesn't have memory. Nobody has precise memory of anything. There is no accurate records of anything. We can only तुक्का मार सकते हैं, अंदाजा. Ram came. When did he come? You pick up history and you can blah 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 do something. Jesus came. When did he go? Even history cannot record the accuracy. That's what I said. No, even childbirth cannot. Date of death can be recorded. Time of death, I don't think is accurate.
Mm.
See, there also, when I saw that patient dying there,
Mm.
she was leaving her body, and immediately when we saw that after the ventilator, the person left the body. Uh, they discussed. There was discussion, and then they said we should give out the message. And the son-in-law of that lady took out the mobile and he started typing. He said, "So and so expired at 7:44 a.m. p.m." I said, "No, 10 minutes back it happened." It's
Mm.
okay. Nobody can register. Even if I say 10 minutes back, also there is no accurate time. Nobody can tell precisely. If anybody can, that is this tattva called God. The creator has this registered, but it is not interested in proclaiming. It is the only one that knows precisely. And who's that God? We only. We are that God, but because we have not become God, we cannot register this in clarity. There is no accurate. You can see many people even tracing Akashic records. They can tell
Yeah.
you your past, they can tell you your future, and with a damn good accuracy also. That is because they can pinpoint that they have entered into that zone of godliness, the predestined. How can somebody predict the future?
Mm.
So there is a predestiny there. They have simply tapped into that record. They have become synchronized and aligned with it. So we need to have that kind of a consciousness to tap into all that.
So is this the mind which tells you, like, or I don't know what is it, like
No, mind is
you
always active. See, mind is there, but it has to register also. What is memory? Mind has to register. When it registers, only there is memory. See, at night, when you're sleeping, the mind is gone. It displays only when there is temporarily, let's say, a dream. It's like a parda, it comes and stands up. Mind is not existing, it's just like a screen. When the dream is about to play, it will show up, and on the mind, it plays, the dream plays. So you are seeing the dream. But again, the conscious mind has to be so active there so as to register what's happening. If you register it consciously only, see, because subconscious and conscious mind keeps on playing the dream. Now it depends on so many factors. How conscious you are of that dream. If you are conscious, the mind will catch it, it will register, memory ho gaya, morning will remember the dream. But then
mm,
all dreams are not remembered
mm.
because simply it did not register. It saw it, the event happened in the mind, but there is no registry because there was no conscious mind available at that time.
So my question was to you is that okay, I forget, but then which mind tells me that, look out for the thing which I have
Mind
lost?
doesn't tell you, awareness tells you, your consciousness
Oh,
tells you that.
right, right, right. That
When
is
the
what I wanted.
consciousness tells you, you go and open the files, that is the mind. You go and
Hmm.
trace it, you go and trace the memory. You go and
Hmm.
find where is that stored memory that is in the mind. But the mind will not come and tell you anything. Mind's work is only to register. It will interact, it will get entangled, and it will register everything. That's all it does. It doesn't have that activity of reminding. See, that is what we were discussing in the deep sessions again. Mind doesn't do it. Mind is Jad Chaitana.
Hmm.
Sharira is Jad Chaitana. Koshas are
Hmm.
Jad Chaitana. These are all Jada, insentient.
Hmm.
Insentient with no consciousness. So they
Yes.
are useless. Mind is literally useless until it does not have the light of awareness. That is what we yesterday in the deep contemplative session, whoever attended, that is
Yes.
what we were discussing. Only when the light enters and illuminates the mind, then all these phenomena of you remembering, you getting entangled, all these things can happen. If there is no light, it doesn't happen. That light is what I'm telling, is awareness, your
Okay.
consciousness. So
Okay.
it is a light that does everything. So here in this question only you can see, if light is doing everything,
Hmm.
who am I? What am I? What am I doing then? I, the ego, is also jada. The
Yes.
ego also is dead. Yesterday we discussed Anandamaya Kosha.
Yes. Yes.
Without Anandamaya Kosha is dead. Without light renting into it, it cannot have life. It cannot, the ego cannot spring up.
Yes.
So even that ego is jada.
Yes.
So only when the illumination happens, the ego arises and the whole prakriya begins. So
Yes.
till then, the light is not there. Nothing literally happens. So who am I then? If light is the doing everything, and I think I'm the ego, now I come to know I'm not the ego also. Because without that light, even my ego doesn't exist. If the
Hmm.
light, see, one example I'll tell you. We sleep at night.
Hmm.
Anybody can tell precisely what time you slept.
No.
Anybody can tell precisely what time you got up.
No.
You might open the eyes and say, oh, it is 6:45. But it is not true. You have woken inside first. Perhaps a few seconds before, perhaps a few minutes before, and then slowly opened your eyes.
Hmm.
So you cannot register that also. Now, I don't remember when I am waking up. I don't know even if I'll wake up tomorrow morning.
Hmm.
The thing is, when we are sleeping, no one of us knows whether we will wake up in the morning.
Hmm.
Who is it that knows? I will wake up in the morning? The light. Because only if the light comes, I will wake up. Are you getting it?
Yes.
So in this only we will come to know nothing is in our hands. Even I don't know when I'm going to wake up. What
Hmm.
am I claiming? I might
Hmm.
say tomorrow I'll wake up. Tomorrow I'll see you in the morning. Tomorrow I'll give you a call in the morning. Tomorrow morning when I get up only I'll meditate. But I don't know I'll get up only what.
Hmm.
That's the confidence of the ego. That is so confident that tomorrow I'll do this, day after I'll do this, next year I'll do this, after 10 years I'll do this, for my son or my daughter I'll do this, for my retirement I'll do. But I don't know next minute I'll be here or not. Everything is dependent on the light. So you
Hmm.
can say this ego is living just on assumptions. This assumption that ऐसा हो सकता है. It is just living in this, but that is all fine. An aware person will see this assumption. The one who sees this assumption will never claim I am the doer.
Hmm.
यहीं पे क्लियर हो जाता है कि मेरे हाथ में है ही नहीं. Things are happening. And this is spirituality. If you get here only, higher practices can happen. Otherwise, all these things will come. I'm the doer. Like here also, what your questions are about the doer.
Hmm.
Your questions are clear purely about how can the doer know this? And I'm telling the doer doesn't know anything.
Hmm.
Are
Right.
you getting it?
Right. Right.
So all these assumptions are coming because I strongly feel I'm the doer. I will make it happen. I am in control of my life. When I believe this, life will show like this question in yours. "Eh?
Yes.
I'm so confident about it. Then why am I not remembering I had a sprain? When did I have a sprain? Or I
Hmm.
lost something? I
Hmm.
am not even remembering that. So that loss which happened was not according to me. See, please
Hmm.
understand.
Hmm.
If I had to lose something, how can I say I lost it?
Hmm.
I didn't
Hmm.
lose it. Tell me, is
Hmm.
there anybody in the world who like to lose things?
No.
Do people want to lose gold or money?
No.
But we say I lost money.
Hmm.
You did not lose money. It was taken away from you.
Hmm.
The things were played in such a way that तुमको होश भी नहीं है. When do
Hmm.
you lose money? When you are not aware.
Hmm.
When do you lose things? When do you make faults? When do mistakes happen in life? When you're not aware. And why did that mistake happen? I did a mistake and I'm bearing the trouble for that mistake. Why am I bearing? Because karma was there. So karma has to initiate somewhere. So if I
Hmm.
am memory, I will be very extra careful. I
Hmm.
will not allow that karma to happen. So can you see, it's the play of that karma. At that precise moment, we will not have awareness.
Doership is
हमारे हाथ
not
से
there.
हो जाता है.
There is no
That's how
doership.
destiny plays.
Hmm. Hmm.
See, if
Hmm.
ego is all the time alert, that's what I said.
Hmm.
Only God can not do any mistakes because you are full time alert. You're
Hmm.
all the time conscious about everything. Every single thing you're so conscious, and
Hmm.
there is no chance of karma working there.
Hmm.
Karma will work only in the absence of your memory, mind, awareness.
Perfect.
So that whole stuff only plays in such a way.
Hmm.
That is what, if you just sit and contemplate on these things only, you will come to know. Oh my God, whatever I thought is so much false. Everything is just happening.
Yes.
I'm just part and parcel of the whole thing. Good you ask
Yes.
this question, because indirectly, directly or indirectly, this is how we can know we have no control over certain things. We cannot say from tomorrow I will not forget.
Hmm.
We all do that. Something happens from now onwards, I'll not forget. But you'll see at that moment precisely, you will not remember.
Hmm.
सावधानी हटी दुर्घटना घटी. वो सावधानी हटी में ही कर्म छुपा है.
Hmm. Right. 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 Got it. Absolutely.
That's the power of karma. How much ever the doer says, I will not allow this to happen, it will happen in its own way.
Very true.
Okay.
Very true. Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank
you,
you
Ji.
so much.
Thank you for that question. It revealed a lot of things. Yeah, Iraj.
Thank you, Bhaiya. Bhaiya,
Thank
just
you.
wanted to ask, like, developing a new understanding of things. Like you were talking about subjectivity, objectivity, and then we are talking about four stages, which you mentioned in your seminar, in your session yesterday. There are a few things like I feel we are conditioned to, like probably many are conditioned to, like saying, in the morning, for example, when you wake up, you say, "Thank you, God, for another divine day. I'm still alive." Things like that, that are totally ingrained in you for a few years. And then just and then saying things like, "Thank you for this thing, thank you for that." And then nowadays, what I find myself, I stop and I start thinking, who's thanking whom? Is the ego thanking I? Because I'm Shiva. If I think about it, I'm awareness, and that's consciousness, and there is cosmic intelligence, which is all everything, Brahman, everything, Shiva. So who's thanking whom? So, but obviously, you are saying all these things throughout the day, and you're stopping then. So, what I mean, you want to keep saying positive things because obviously we can think of it. I mean, personally, I feel that it uplifts your spirits as well because you are focusing on positive things. You are having an internal pharmacology of yourself, pharmacy, and you are going to have some nice neurochemicals to yourself and energize and everything. So I do see the benefit because it gives you a positive, and positivity always helps. So, and then
So, do you think those hormones will not secrete when we become aware of what you're saying now? Heightened awareness of who's thanking whom. And then you realize you have some bursts of realizations. Oh, wow, Shiva is thanking Shiva. Don't you think there will be this transmission of this goody
neurotransmitters,
goody
yes.
hormones?
I think so. Yeah, will we? Why not? But yeah, that's why I asked you the question to shed more
That is
light
why
on it.
if we make this journey interesting, these things can be very good enough, because we are just replacing the old beliefs with new understandings. So these are old beliefs. Okay, patterns are good. Those patterns were
Yes.
serving me in some way. But if this thought is coming to
Yeah.
question that belief system itself, it simply means it's time for that belief to go, because nobody is planning it. It's a
Yeah.
spontaneous evolution that's happening within you. From
Yeah.
inside only, there is a question coming. So it's evolution happening. And evolution simply means something will replace something. A higher understanding will replace even that belief. even if that belief was still now serving me good, but there is
Mm.
something coming for a higher good. That is why it is questioning it. And that is why I said, if this is giving me good um, chemicals that are released in my body, and that's, it's making me feel good. So also, when a seeker has an interesting spiritual journey, and these are interesting things, like you are questioning these things, and then you're going deeper and understanding, okay, who's thanking whom? Till now I was thanking, but now I have a realization that I am only that one. So if I am that one, am I thanking myself? So I tend to look at it in a different way. And then I go in a very interesting way to explore that. That exploration can give me a lot of, you know, good vibes. And that can be my motivation. That is one way. The other way we look at it is, oh, it has threatened my belief system. Now my old belief system is challenged. I'm clinging on to my old belief system. And that has kept me happy till now. But now a thought has intruded and is now questioning this belief, which has kept me happy all this while. So now I feel threatened. So if I feel threatened, I will shove away that thought and hold on to the belief and say, this is giving me better. In both ways, it's correct. I mean, if the belief is still serving us and giving us good vibes, that's meant for us in that state of that journey, in that evolution that we have reached, that is what is meant to be. If what something higher and deeper is going to come, that is what is meant to be. That is why I constantly say we must be like the flow of water, open to everything. If we don't restrict ourselves to anything, life will be very joyous. You will not hesitate to put back anything that does not serve your life anymore. Simple. You know why most of the people are not happy with newer things in life? Why do people don't want to explore? You look at all the fanatics stuck in all the paths. They're all fanatics because comfort and that belief, it keeps them happy. It is simply
Of
giving them
course, so.
a certain kind
Yeah,
of thrill there.
yeah.
And whenever a new challenge comes in, a new thought comes in, a new truth is revealed, they want to run. Why they want to run? Because that old, like you said, it is giving me good chemical, transmissions happening in my body and the hormones. It's giving me a thrill. So I want to be thrilled all the time. So if something challenges that, I will shrug away. I will protect my old belief system because that is essential for my survival. But
Mm.
people of awareness who are more conscious and awakening, they look beyond all this game of the mind. They understand the mind is playing all these things. So they go beyond and they challenge every belief and they overlook everything and they deeply monitor, they investigate. That is what Osho means by Jano, Mano Nahi. Don't live on beliefs. Challenge all your beliefs. But
Mm.
as I said, everything is perfect. If somebody says, I don't want to challenge my beliefs, I want to live in this, that is the stage of evolution of that person, and that person should not be disturbed. It is not the right time to even tell that person, get over it. See, that is very important on our journey, be it ourselves or others. We must respect the stage and evolution where everybody is in. That is why you can see we have a lot of filters in these places. Filters will very politely and respectfully eradicate those who are not ready to listen to higher truths. Instead of them having a battle in their mind and then you sitting convincing them and all that. No, if this doesn't suit you, if this is not your frequency, you can carry on with whatever you do with due respects. There is no force that this is going to be put down your throat. And those who are evolving, those who can catch it, those who can vibe with it, stay. Those who can go further, explore. We are all explorers, spiritual explorers. We are all exploring to know how am I Shiva. If you see, if you don't explore how am I Shiva, if you don't ask the question who am I, then you are a stupid believer. And that belief is coming from your parents, your grandparents, your forefathers. You don't have any idea. You have just borrowed that belief, and you will sit very happy saying that there is some God. Where is the God? You have no questions asked. There is a God. Because just that thought, there is a God, pleases me. I don't want to go beyond it. So that pleasure which comes from belief has its own dangers. First of all, you can assume things, you can presume things, you can have misunderstanding of things, or people can manipulate your beliefs. Like you can see in all the religions and paths, what happens is you are having a belief, then that belief becomes their control. You can be controlled through by controlling that belief. Because if you strongly say, I believe in the red flag or in a green flag, enough. You don't want to understand what is that green flag, what is that red flag, what is the orange or saffron flag. You don't want to understand any tattva of it. It is my strong belief that I belong to this. Then all the holders of the flag can manipulate you because your whole identity, your whole security is on that flag. You are not a thinker. You cannot explore further. So the people who understand that weakness can simply exploit you. They can simply tell, in the name of the flag, you got to do it, and you'll do it. You'll never question it. But the explorers will never do that. The explorers are always exploring, and that is how they can reach. The exploration is called self inquiry. You inquire. All the time you're inquiring, who am I? What is this world made up of? What is my mind made up of? Where did I come from? Where will I go? What am I doing here? Questions like these are explorers, janne wale. And for them, life is very interesting. For the believers, it's boring. They have one set of belief and they have no idea. You ask believers, they cannot explain anything. And they will simply point you to religious text. They will say, Bhagavad Gita mein likha hai, Quran mein likha hai, Bible mein likha hai. That is all that they can understand. And that is why they have difficulty in finding this God. Explorers will always find, because only by exploring you will understand who you are not. Now, see, the people who are on the path of exploring their whole journey are easily able to identify, who am I not? I am not the body, they can say. Can believers say this? You bring any believer to me, bring a fanatic to me, they will never even question. They even, I am not the body, I am the soul, is a song for them. They have no idea about it. They will sing and they will add devotion to it. And they will add a signature line to it. This was sung by a holy person, so it is very close to me. They have no idea about what it is, and nor they want to explore about it. So belief can do all these things. We must become explorers. In exploration only, we will find all the answers, because exploration simply means seekers. Another word for explorer, seeker. Explorer is exploring to seek something, to find something. A seeker is also seeking to find something. Both are moving on the same path. That is why he says answers will come only when you ask.
Yeah.
Seeker, ask and it shall be given to the seeker. Jesus said, knock and the door shall be opened. Before knocking, it will not be open. Who will knock? Only explorers. Believers will knock. They will not knock. They will close that the door and put a lock to that idol god and keep him preserved there. All the gods that are locked in your temples are all believers' gods. Check it out. All believers can only lock their secrets there. That's all they know. They will open, they will look at it, they will close it. Like a kanjus, a miser, who will every day open uska tijori and look at the wealth and close it. This is what believers can do. And non-believers, explorers, actually go and penetrate into it. So that is why we have these filter systems. If anybody feels offended, if anybody feels hurt, don't listen. Go and sit in those kind of satsangs which will glorify these things with due respect. So the filter systems depend on which stage of evolution we are standing. You cannot go and tell a believer these things. Believer will never understand this. They will feel offense and offense and offense and insult. And who's getting insulted? It's your damn ego. Because the ego is identified with that belief. So when you say, I feel bad, I feel insulted, my religion is not insulted. Your damn ego is insulted. That is attached to that religion or path or holy person or whatever, or scripture or teachings or whatever. That gets offended. So according to the state of evolution, the things open up and it's fine. When you evolve beyond all these things, you will see it is all fine. Now, sitting at here, I'm not saying that thing is wrong or it is bad. I'm not saying you must not put your gods behind the bars. Put it. If that gives you thrill, the hormonal thrill, that divine thrill, if that gives you bhakti, if that is activating your devotion, and if that is bringing a sense of oneness, if that is evolving you, put him behind bars. Absolutely no problem. Even he has no problem being under bars. Do you see that? Your gods have no problem being behind the bars because that's the unconditional love they have for you. Do any damn thing, you get there. You simply get there. You want to worship me in this manner, do it. I will support you. Every aspect is supported. Any way you want to worship that supreme consciousness, the supreme consciousness is in total agreement to it. So there is due respect to all this. The sharp tone that I'm using is for the people who are clinging, who can see something higher, but they are not able to because of their old beliefs. For them, I talk sharply. I'm a sharp shooter there. So that you leave your clinging, either latke to raho, nahi to aage to badho. Don't keep dangling there. So if you come in front of me and like a pendulum, if you're shaking, I will either tell you go that side or go this side. Don't keep dangling here. Latakte nahi rehna. लटकते रहना है तो कहीं और, because this is not the platform to keep like a pendulum. And then the pendulums try to convince me you also should हमारे जैसे झूमो. No, झूमना है तो कहीं और जाके झूम. So why are we doing this? There is due respect to everything. We do agree because I am telling, even in that stages, whatever I'm telling, the closed bars. But if I see a God between the closed bars, even right now, devotion will come, tears will come. So that behind bars, but my God or my understanding is not that only there in that manner only I can see him. No, mine is a diversified understanding. So if we have a diversified understanding, it's okay if you see him in the sky, if it's okay if you see him in the stone, it's okay if you don't see him at all. See, there is no conditions attached. You are simply an explorer of everything because you ultimately know even that stone, that prison, that lamp, that snake, that rat, that cow, that tree, that clouds, the sky, the rain, everything has come from that consciousness. We are only catering. I'm just catering to different people's tastes. So that I'm just telling, let go of one thing and embrace everything. That's what my idea is. So everywhere, anywhere there are limitations, I break this by telling, no, that's damn your limitation. That's your prison, what you call as temple. Don't be so proud of it. You got to break beyond it because your God is beyond it. You got to see if you want to evolve. They said, no, go to hell, you damn fool. I want to sit here ringing the bells. Please do so. I'm not interested in convincing. So we must address ourselves and others depending on the state of it. We must be so evolved enough to understand our own catchings. Sometimes I myself can catch myself. We can catch ourselves stuck in beliefs. People, when they're doing Devi Kalotra, they said, I understand everything what you're saying. I can relate to what, but, but. I said, go easy. It's fine. You understand it, that's more than enough. Even
Yes, very
there
much.
is
Yeah.
no forceful telling that you have
Mm.
to do
Yeah.
this. Even the Lord is not telling you have to.
Mm.
It's not there. Even he is telling, take your time. But he's telling to Parvati, look, my dear, you have asked a very serious question. And for that serious question, there is a serious answer. If you can digest it, then Devi Kalotra is for you. If you cannot, he's not interested. That's the first condition he's putting. Nischal ho jao. No, I am chanchal. I want to padpadao everywhere. Okay, fine. The Agam Shastras are there. Everything is there. Go and enjoy. And go and find God in that. I am there also. You worship me. But at this state, when you are asking, you want to come at this level and be one with me, my state is this. So you can see even Shiva has different revelations. You go into Tantra, you'll be amazed to see the records there. And they will all contradict. In Devi Kalotra, he's telling, give up all your meditation, give up all the chakras, give up all this, give up all that, nadis, give up all your tantras, mantras, everything, and just on me. But then you go into the Tantra, you open up any Tantra, he will tell you exactly you must hold the fire in this manner, you must draw a circle in this manner, and put the fire in there and chant this mantra. You'll say, what is this? Just now I read it somewhere. Give up all those damn things, and here he's telling you do it in this manner, then you will benefit in this manner. Yes, it is all according to their stages, whichever stage. So the question of the seeker shows their state. That's your seeking. That is what you seek, and what you seek you shall receive. Knock and the door shall be open. So if somebody goes and knocks, Parvati goes and knocks with a question like, hey Prabhu, I want to be like you, be one with you, answer will be different. Door will open to a different, all different chemistry there. It will not open something else. It all depends on what we ask. So today, what we are stressing so much on is the seeking. What we seek is what we will get. So when I see people seeking something and their answer is something and they want to listen to the answer but they're uncomfortable, I can see why they're uncomfortable. Seeking is higher, but they are entangled in the lower. At that time, I shake their lower. Only at that time. Otherwise, I'm not interested. Only because there is a desperate seeking, there is a question that comes up with a higher seeking, and to get the grasp of that, there's something that is not making you grasp what is being told at that level. So I will shake this down so that you let go of this, then you can grasp that. And in that shaking, we will come to know whether you're really serious. Sometimes in that shaking, they will drop that branch which they're holding and they will go back into their. The moment they leave, and I realize they have left it, there is no more higher seeking, I shut my mouth down. Then it's not meant for them. Are you getting? This is how we should deal with people around us. This is how we
Mm.
should deal with ourselves. And you'll be happy.
Very
In
useful,
this way,
Bhaiya. You have thrown a very good light on this one because obviously, yeah, there are confusions at times. You don't know how your ego traps you, your mind traps you. So it's very useful to know, like, obviously, this is like a belief, but I could never pinpoint it as a belief. And you put it right, saying it's a belief. See, because I was trapped by the mind.
that is what the beliefs can do. Because most of the beliefs are all
Mm.
unconscious only. No beliefs are conscious. Huh? If it
Okay.
comes to the conscious level, your awareness can wipe it out. But all beliefs are unconscious. That is why it is very difficult to uproot them.
Mm.
Consciously, you might want, but subconsciously, it is sitting down there, justifying and giving its own stuff. For that, you need good awareness. Because if you have awareness, you can see the roots stuck in subconscious and you can understand. And there is a readiness. If awareness is there, there is a readiness because you have clarity now. The moment you have clarity, you're ready to let go of that belief.
Yes.
And no second moment, there is no second thought. You can simply let go of it. Not as a
Absolutely.
rule, but as clarity. You got a clarity and you just let go of, and you'll see relief. Immediately, that belief goes out and a new experience pours in. You are flooded with a new level of enlightenment. One more jerk you get, and Vismay, oh wow, this is how we uproot all the belief systems one by one. Belief means borrowed, it is not your own.
Yeah.
All beliefs are borrowed. Somebody has implanted in you, somebody has put that seed in you, knowingly or unknowingly. I repeat, knowingly or unknowingly, somebody has put a seed in that for whatever reasons. It can be for their own benefit, or it can be because they themselves are unconscious. Most that passes in our lineage from parents and grandparents are all unconscious seeds. They don't wish harm, but it has happened. But sometimes unconscious, the seeds can be planted in the unconscious very deliberately. That is what happens around. You have to be very careful. You'll notice. You'll notice it is being done consciously. And when you explore why consciously it has been done, you'll see vested interest in it. Clear cut, you'll see vested interest. See, that is how you expose the worldly systems. Otherwise, you'll never get out of it. It's Maya. You'll get entangled. You'll have hundreds of reasons to stay stuck in so many things. But when you see things, when you explore, when you have the courage, only you can see. And when you see, you have the courage to face that. And when you have the courage to face, you are delivered from that, liberated from that limited understanding. So everywhere, but people don't go there. You go to those zones, it's so sensitive. They will say, "Don't touch my this spot." It's very, very sensitive spot, which I have held on for eons or maybe janmas. Don't go there beyond it. They might say, you're beyond your limits. Huh? Mind your own space. Give me the space. That space is their protected belief, comfortable space of their beliefs. So they will not want that. So see, even noticing, oh my God, this was a belief, is liberation.
Mhm.
Like you said
And
just now.
yeah, and if you don't mind me saying something, you saying that people plant beliefs in you consciously and unconsciously is making me think that I do it to some people as well. Like
We all
especially
do it.
my family, children,
Lord, we all do it.
you are doing it. You have got to be aware of that also now, in a way, in the sense that
See, most of the
you,
time, what we do in the family is unconscious, but there is
yeah,
a selfishness in it. There is a selfishness which we are
yes,
aware of, but when we implant it, we forget about that
mm,
because our selfishness comes in the forefront. Like I tell, no, I love you business. All this I love you nonsense is just a nonsense. It's not true. Only those who have the guts to see it can get out of moha. Huh? This is the sutra. If you want to get out of attachments, false attachments, expose yourself. Just expose your wrong beliefs. And for that, go and believe, go into it deeply and see what is this I love you business. You'll come to know, oh my God, I don't love him or her. I love me. All that I'm doing, I love you so much. I'll give you this, I'll give you that, I'll flood you with gifts, I'll do everything for you. I'll go to every corner for you. All these things which are there. It is all done for vested interest. ആരാന്ന് ഇല്ല ഇവിടെ. So we must have this guts to expose ourselves. And if you expose yourself, you cannot have moha. 100% guarantee. It is only because we are scared of exposing ourselves and we don't look into that. It remains there and we keep ourselves glorifying ourselves in all these things called I love my family, I take care of them, they are wonderful. They are wonderful because they give me comfort, they give me security, they give me love. That is why they are wonderful. That is why ask the families who have turned bitter, who no more say families are not good, relatives are not. Why? They have tasted it. They're not getting anything there. So when the moment you don't get it, you lose interest in that. Have you seen this? The moment somebody in your family also hurts you, you lose interest in that person. You are not interested anymore in that. You get hurt. You get very saddened. Why you are saddened? Because they disappointed your love that you expected. They're not giving what you expect. This is how we must expose ourselves. Then only we'll come out of this Maya. Otherwise, what I have seen seekers, even high level seekers, so called, they will do every contact. But when it comes to this chadar od dete, carpet, please understand, you will never get out of Maya. To get out of Maya, you have to expose yourself and you have to expose the system within you. Whatever you look at a path, you look at a religion, until you expose that, how are you getting out of going to get rid of it? Why are you holding on to all this? Because you have glorified it. You have thought it's something very great, and once you see, no, it's not so. It's just another ordinary thing. Just because of my forget my glory. Somebody else has glorified and marketed it for me before I came in. Even the family system, it has been marketed. So much of glorification has been done for family, 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 family in the society, that it has been glorified. Now you live up to that. Beliefs of somebody, borrowed beliefs. Ask the explorers who have gone deep into it, and they will tell you it's all shit. It's all crap. There's nothing literally there. Literally nothing there. It's, and you ask evolved seekers, they will tell you this is nonsense. There is actually nothing called family. It is just a bunch of fools who are come to battle between themselves as a part of their past karmas. That's all. Few souls have come there. Now they have glorified and they're given it different names. Each are entangling with each other. Each have caught each other's neck and expecting different things in the name of relationships. And they call it a loving family. And they call, I love this. Until you get rid of all this scam. For spiritual seekers, these are scams. You cannot get out of this. Even if you try to do abiding in the self, you will abiding in the self, and like you'll fall like a hot, what do you call that? Like a ripe mango down. You'll be sitting there, suddenly you'll fall. Why? Your beliefs will pull you inside. Your moha will simply pull you down. You cannot sit with Shiva's word saying that other than the self, you should not be interested in anything. You will be interested because you have invested in all these things and you are not ready to expose the whole scam, the whole play of consciousness. How will you call this a play of consciousness? Tell me. If you don't see scam in this whole thing, if you don't see the looseness and the falseness in this, can you call it Maya? How do I call false I? World is false. I am false. False I, false ego. Why? False means it doesn't exist. It is it is a scam. It is a hoax. It is not true. It is not real. But I don't want to investigate. How is this false? How is this world false? Why are all the mystics and scriptures saying it's a false world? I don't want to expose. Because the moment somebody tells it's false, I want to break that guy's neck. Like many of you might want to break mine now. Because glorified things are there in our head.
Thank you.
You ask the sannyasis who have gone to Himalayas, if they think this world, their families, their home, their relatives, and their blood relation is everything, do you think they'll have the guts to even step out of their house? Buddha would have done that without this realization of the hoaxness of everything. That is why fools cannot understand. Oh, Buddha left the family and he went. Gautama, he was an ignorant fool. He ran away. He didn't run away. You are running from truth. He just went and into the truth, explored the truth, found the truth, and then he saw what is real. Mahavir, Buddha, all these people, Mahalaleshwari, What are all these people? How did they find this? It's all false. Nityananda, his own father is saying, no, I'm not going to come back home. Go from the Himalayas. And the father is pleading, I brought you up. Nityananda didn't have a mother, didn't have a father. And his foster father, imagine how much obliged must Nityananda be feeling towards his father. Found in the jungle and everything taken care. How did he have the guts to say, no, you go back, I'm not coming? What will happen to me? You will be taken care of. My God, I cannot come. Can we say that? We'll never be able to say that. We'll never be able to see because we have not seen the truth. Nityananda saw the truth. He was born with the truth. So it didn't affect him. So you can see Nityananda playing the game around. He played it well. He didn't say, you're not my father. Who are you? No, he said, okay, you take me as a son, fine. And he said, okay, what pleases you? I want to be with you and you want to be with me. Okay, I will come at the right time. And he came at the right time. Death time, why did he come? Because his whole effort was that. In the end, he should not leave with that. Leave the body with that. Oh, my son did not come. Okay, I'll fulfill your wish. He played it well. You all played the game well. Mahalaleshwari being troubled in the in-laws. Mirabai was troubled in the in-laws. Still they bore with it. Why they bore with it? They knew. Karma in play. They didn't get entangled in it. It is not that they were like, bearing through all the pains and all that. People put all those kind of things. Mahalaleshwari was bearing, poor thing. How much of pain? Fools. They don't have pain because they know the whole game. They're simply wanting to just play, finish it off, and get out of it. That's how it is. And we emotional fools cannot get out of these things. Emotions. And we're stuck in this. Stuck in what? All these false scams. I don't know if this is too rude or too direct, but this is the truth. A wrong satsang for grastas. For grastas, it is something different. Glorified. Nityananda, you'll never find him glorifying any grastas or talking too much about the worldly things. They are all mystics. They'll say, okay, you have done this. Okay, do your job. You're responsible, do it. But they will talk on the higher. They will talk about the higher. They will remind you of the higher. They will not sit with that story. In Nityananda got so many people married also. He did that. That Indumati Tai who was there, a lady, her parents were married by Nityananda. One is from Maharashtra, one is from Kannur. So it was not that he's against the system. He's for it also, but Grasta is not everything for Nityananda. That also is a part. Okay, you play a role, but there is something else. That is why he did that. You finish off these things and move ahead. So what I am saying is, until you don't see this falseness, how can you move ahead? You'll never get out of this. I cannot see, at least. I cannot see any way where a person can just by knowledge understand this, or just by telling from tomorrow I will. Nahi hoga. You have to shake those roots. How do you shake the root? Go and see the hoaxness of everything. Go and see the falseness of what you call as your love, or somebody is professing their love in the family. You look at it deeply, you will come to know they also have vested interest. If you want, do experiment and try. Don't give it and see what will happen. Did we wander away from the question? Okay, fine. Okay, I see some hands here. Yeah, Vishalji.
Hello, Pranam.
Family.
I have a questions. Why we are the way we are? Why everybody is different? Like if we are Shiva, everybody is Shiva. Then shouldn't everybody be the same, thinking same, and reacting, acting same, the way I am doing or somebody's doing? Why we are different?
We are different because we chose to play this game. See, you can talk it from the level of Shiva or level of us also. Forget Shiva. We all know that Shiva wanted. It's an experience in Shiva Sutras and all. If you refer, you will come to know
Hmm.
that uh, to have an experience, the separation happened, and separation happened means it is a fully conscious game where you allow your reflection to get a power, to have its own independence, called free will. So it's like, you give it a free will, because then only the game is actually nourished. Otherwise, there is no game. There is nothing called experience. So the whole thing, that itcha, what you call as the desire for that experience, created the split, and the whole thing. It's why. How do we know it's a game? Because you can see, if you refer, not just referring to scriptures, even if you study. Because I am not a blind follower of scriptures. I'm not a fan of Shiva Sutras, but yes, they are a deep guidelines. I will not blindly believe anything in Shiva Sutras or Yoga Vasishtha or anything it is until I see a reflection of it in my own life. So when I say Shiva Sutras, when it writes that I split and I wanted to have an experience, Shiva wanted to have an experience, he gave the free will to happen on its own. It's like you making a robot and giving it power, and the robot is taking care of itself. And then you and the robot having that experience of whatever that is. And that system also has the memory that I am Shiva. But when the free will is given, I am the divine will, and the free will is given. What happens is, this free will, I have given it independence. So independence means it can do anything, swatantra. So it starts taking its own form and then taking its own decisions. And according to that, that's where the karma begins. According to that, every spark has an individuality, and every individual has a free will. Now it starts working. But that free will is an illusion, because in that free will is a small bija of my divine will. My sankalpa is there that I will play the game and come back. It's a small bija. But the ego plays around and it takes its own form and doing everything that it wants. But this, my divine spark in it, the Shiva spark is there in it. The remembrance, I am Shiva. But because the ego has expanded so much, it cannot remember. So the sankalpa, the cosmic bija which is there, it is designed in such a way, have a very good play, and at a certain time, when you go to the extreme of the play, you come back. And then this bija will grow out. Why the bija grows out? Because the divine will start shining it out, and it will outshadow the ego. So when the ego is outshadowed, what remains is pure consciousness there, and that is simply an understanding that it merges back. Means I split, I have an experience, and then at the right time I withdraw myself and become me. So that is what is explained so much as Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh. It is created, then it is sustained, and then it is destroyed. After destruction, what? You remember. You remember who you are. So it is me only going out as this free will, playing the whole game and coming. Now, this is Shiva Sutras. But if I relate this to my life, I can see the same thing happen. Forget Shiva Sutras. Now, we have studied and know this very clearly that we chose to play this game. You must have heard a lot about this. You chose your parents. You chose your family members. You chose the geographical location. You chose everything. In fact, I had put one in the group today. Let me just see that. It's precisely, I think, in shifting into awareness group it was. 5 hours back I put it. It says, Remember, you picked it all. Your planet, country, name, birthday, avatar, level of difficulty, etc. It was all you all along. This post says, how beautiful it is. See, that is a clear indication of Shiva only. You can tell you're telling this to Shiva. You chose this. You chose this, your avatara, your gender, your community, your country, everything. It was all about you only. You choose it. So here, even we, if you see, we are choosing our life every time. Even when we move out of the body, you have this free will of choosing your own next set of unresolved issue people. And then you say, I will become the father of that person. I choose to become the son. I choose to become the daughter of this one. I choose to become the wife of this one, the husband of this one. I choose to play this game in this manner. Why? Because I gave something. Now let me receive it and see and balance the game. Or I took something. Now I have to give it back. It's pending. How can I best can I give back to this person? This person. Oh, if I go into the womb of this person, I can repay it back in this way. If I become the wife of or husband of this person, I can repay it in this manner. I choose it. I choose all these things, and I come and play. Now watch this. Why I love this Shiva Sutra? Because I've experimented this with my own life. In the state of bodilessness, I choose my country, I choose my gender, I choose my parents, I choose everything. But when I get into the womb, I forget everything. Isn't this Shiva Sutras? Shiva chooses to play the game, but the moment the separation happens, he forgets. And on this side, I have forgotten. We have all forgotten here. We all don't know. We can never say we have chosen this. I don't remember this. Shilpa, you started this question. I don't remember. Can you get this now?
Yes.
We can't even remember our own games that we started. Every point you see, it's that only. The same truths. That is what this whole science of life is all about. You put it. You'll fix it everywhere. You can fix it in Shiva Sutras, you can fix it in Yoga Vasishta, you can fix it in any damn thing if you have the awareness and if you have the faculty to study your own life and see your life is nothing but Shiva Sutras. So I forget. And now, as a spiritual seeker, I'm remembering. I am telling. Now, when I'm bullshitting all these systems, calling it crap and calling it hoax, what am I doing? Shiva is realizing the real nature and understanding, oh my God, I split. I wanted to play the game and I got entangled. This is not my true nature. I'm something else. So that spirit tells me this is crap. And until I know it is crap, how will I leave it? I will be a sansari. I will be a bhogi. Why I am in samsara? Because I've taken it real. So you need viveka. You need to understand what is sat and asat. And what we are doing, asat we are catching is real. That means our viveka is not yet developed. The moment it develops, you can see falseness in the so-called reality. So only when you see that, your eyes open, third eye opens, bhasm ho jata hai sab. Shiva's third eye has to open for the pralaya to happen, for the destruction to happen. That is nothing but your third eye, symbolism. He is not sitting there opening his third eye. It is you, the Shiva. When you open a third eye and you see the crap, you burn it all. Your third eye can burn it. Only then destruction happens, pralaya happens. And then only you can remember, I am not this son, I am not this husband, I am not this wife, I am not this patriotic Indian or American. I am none of these things. I am someone else. And the moment you realize you're someone else, you simply lose interest being an Indian or Pakistani or a boy or a girl or this and that. You're simply not interested. So that not being interested, Shiva Kripa, Anugrah Shakti doing it. Only then you'll You'll return back from the game. It's a game. So you can see, I entered. I'm playing my game. I often tell this. You love to play the game, play around. Nobody's going to stop you. You are interested in these things, go and play around. Nobody's going to stop you. But one point of time, you have to become disinterested. Never think I will have full interest in this and at the same time achieve liberation. It is the most stupidified thought to feel that I will entangle this and I will embrace Shiva. You will embrace Shiva in your mind, in your hallucinations, but you'll never realize the ultimate truth. So, as you said, Vishavji, why do we remember and forget? It's this. You can simply ask, why am I forgetting when I come into this body? Before taking birth, I remembered. Why am I forgetting? Forget Shiva. Here only you can ask and see. Now, another plain answer is, if you remembered who you are, would you be interested in the game? Would even the game begin? The game is all about forgetfulness. Until you forget your true nature, you are simply not going to venture and have an experience.
Mhm.
That's the nature of Shiva. If that experience is not needed, it's a non-dual nirguna nirakara, that experience in itself. But the Sat and Chit splitting, the Ardhanarishwar, all those things happening is just for an experience. So it is just like you going, having an experience, coming back. Look at our lives. We come out, take Janma, we go, expand, we live 40, 50, 100, 90 years, and then we drop everything. We come back to that state which we were before. Subtle. Then we go and play around one game and come back. We did. So these all, you, me, and all these 8 billion people are playing their individual games. And this individual games is a master plan of the whole master game.
Mhm.
It's a hoax illusion. So the master is always the creator. There is a master plan in which many mini plans are happening, but we take each and every mini plan and say, this is life. We don't see something else is governing us. That is what we started today's session. Today's session is very beautiful. I would like to put it on YouTube only. So is it okay? Many of you have asked questions. It's very interesting. It's very deep on what we are understanding. Does that answer, Vishwaji?
Yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yeah, Vivekji.
Namaste, Jake.
Namaste ji.
So actually, I wanted to thank you actually for basically this session as well as other sessions also, because a lot of doubts gets cleared
Yes.
and many of the things which are happening and they correlate like when you explain. So then it confirms that yeah, this is the right direction. So that is the main thing like I wanted to tell.
Yes,
And
that is the
another
purpose
thing,
we started this for. Because why I started something called clarity session, and it's going on for years now. And every week we have this. Why did I start this? Because this was my drawback. In my spiritual journey, there was no clarity. And I
right.
sought it here and there, and it took me a long time, probably even a decade, to get answers to many things, and I had to find it myself.
Right.
I had to go through all these things. And then I said, this can delay the whole thing so much, because if I'm given education, if I'm given a qualification to do something, if I'm given a practice, if I'm given this, that, if I'm given a belief, if I'm given a scripture, if I'm given something, some knowledge, I deserve to have clarity over it. Somebody cannot just give me half baked stuff and then say, you figure it out, or say, this is the belief. So it is just like my grandfather telling me that this is how we must pray in the family. And if I ask why we must pray, he says, I have no idea. I never questioned my grandfather. So you don't question me. I didn't believe in this kind of stuff. So that took me a lot, because see what happens when, even when you guys have this clarity, when you're getting, there is a wow factor. There is something that has been unburdened in our life. So clarity is needed. What is clarity? Light. Asatoma satgamaya. Tamasoma jyotirgamaya. Tamas jyoti. Light of wisdom kills the darkness of ignorance. That's the whole concept about the light has to shine. So that is how we started this. I'm happy you're acknowledging that.
Yeah. So I agree, like, because I mean, reading scriptures and getting some clarity happened some 12 years back, or yeah, around that time. But still, there were so many concepts or things which were not clear. For example, like, I will just tell one of my experience that I used to think once I get realized, then there will be some special powers like Krishna
Not,
Bhagwan or
not the few. Many are feeling that. Many
yeah.
feel that.
It took
That
like
is why
really,
that
really.
is why they are motivated for self-realization.
Right, right. Maybe for me also that was one thing. So even after realizing the truth to some extent, it's still like there was a craving to have some special power. Since I have not got that, that means something is remaining. So all that thing kept happening until and unless, like, one of my friend helped with Raman Maharshi ji books and Nisargadatta Maharaj books, from which it became very clear. And then later, when later I saw your videos on Facebook actually, and then came to know about you, and there actually things and now fixed in a proper this jigsaw puzzle, like, make some sense. Yeah, so yeah, really helpful actually. And one thing which you mentioned today, which was very actually, which actually I was also thinking last few days, and it actually helped me once you told that, it affirmed the understanding. So the thing you told, like, one experience is gets replaced by another experience. So
Yes.
essentially, like, so there is no experience in actually realization, and we go from one experience to another. So it is essentially like we are again in a trap.
No, who said there is no experience, even in no experience? See, that no experience itself is an experience. Think about it.
Actually, I
Think
like the
about it.
no experience thing, so I don't think about any experience.
Think about it and think about it. How will you define no experience?
No
It is
experience
an
is so
experience in
light.
itself.
No experience is so free and light. So there is
See,
no need.
you defined it. You said no experience is so free. So that's an experience that you're having, freedom.
Yeah, yeah,
That's what it is. There's
yeah.
nothing without experience. This is called vimarsha. The prakash, the light, is always experiencing something. We must understand this. The day you say there is no experience, you are Shiva. You are just a witness. Till the time you are having experience, you are in the Shakti. The vimarsha is happening. Shakti is experiencing a lot of things. And we have the right to experience it. Even if it is blissfulness, even if it is no experience, even if it is shunya experience, nothingness, we have the right to experience all that.
Yeah,
And what
thank
you said, the clarity, you say sometimes these things get answered. We have questions, and sometimes somebody asks it, and I know, see, that is why most of us sit here. Not necessarily we have to ask questions, because sometimes people ask so many questions, and from there, so many things come out. And then you even realize, oh, I had a question, but I was not aware of it.
right, right,
I had this question, but I was not aware of it. Means I had this doubt too, but it was not conscious yet. So before it becoming a doubt and going through that lengthy process, it has been solved
right.
before it becoming a tree.
Mm,
And this phenomena where people say, most of them tell me this. When I was with my guru, also this common phenomena used to happen. Then, he's talking to me,
mm,
he's addressing me.
mm,
Here also people say, I know you're talking to me. What's going on? How do you know what's going on in my mind? Many say that. Some ask, do you read minds? I don't read minds. Actually, there is nothing called telepathy.
mm,
Telepathy is a hoax. They have simply hallucinated. They have not hallucinated. They have blown things out of proportion. They say telepathy is reading somebody's mind. Not true. On a very higher end, because that is all Dvaita games. You getting into somebody, you can't get into somebody's head and read. Please understand this. All that you hear, that you go into, you can't do that. What happens is when you are elevated to a certain frequency, you have certain thoughts going in your mind. Somebody is on the same frequency, they have thoughts going in your mind. You are reading your own thoughts, but only thing, these two thoughts are at the same wavelength.
Right.
When two people are in the same wavelength, this phenomenon happens. I'm busy reading my own thoughts. Somebody is reading their own thoughts, but the exchange feels that wow. And they say this is what was going. So this has been blown out of proportion. Believers, fanatics can do anything with this. They will go and hallucinate with a lot of things, and they will even say like, my guru is watching me, he's reading me, he knows everything. No, you have just vibrated in the frequency of your guru. That's all. That's all the phenomena that's happening. You have raised your vibration. Your vibrations are one. Frequency is one. So you both are thinking at the same level of frequency. Now, many will not like this. Fanatics will not like this. Oh, you are breaking my strong belief. This was my only support. You are breaking. Yeah, it has to break. Because there is nothing called. And who is interested in reading minds, telepathy, siddhis? Right? You were saying, right, Vivek, now about
Yeah.
siddhis, powers,
Right.
self-realization with powers. Many feel self-realization, I'll be able to read everybody's minds.
Right.
I can see everything. I can see my future. I can see everybody's future. And that is their incentive for chasing self-realization. And such kind of people will fall in for all the traps of self-realization. They will get caught up in all these kind of, they will buy tickets, surely. Ticket to self-realization, enlightenment. Why? Because they feel they will get something. You tell people you will not get anything and see how many people will remain. Many people I have lost here. When I told them this is what happens. There's nothing. What are you telling? This guy is like boring. And so much things will happen. How can it be such an ordinary experience? It has to be some great experience, my dear. So many people are striving. Krishna says only a handful will get there. Nityananda says only a handful get there. And you're telling nothing happens there. I mean, there is no experience at all. So you can see the whole motivation of the system is to get that experience of something special. And till the time you are looking for something special, you are evolving, but you are evolving in the wrong direction. You are moving towards the mind phenomena, the mind ego, the siddhis. It all happens in the mind, and you can get disillusioned. You cannot even separate spirituality and that. You see the rishis, Updesara. At that stage also, you can't disillusion. You can't see what is right and wrong. Lord has to descend and tell the gaps in that. So that is a catch with the path of siddhis. And it's good that if previously my motivation was self-realization, to attain something, to get something special, and now it has been broken. I know the truth, but still I'm interested in it. That's anugraha. That's the right path that you're taking. You are not having any motives to do. That is why I'm telling those who do not have motives are simply not bothered about self-realization, moksha. They allow it to happen. Who wants to chase enlightenment? Those who want something out of it. Because everything you see here in this world, we are chasing. We are chasing partners, we are chasing vehicles, we are chasing homes, we are chasing wealth, we are chasing name, we are chasing education. You see, everywhere there is a chase. Why? Because there is a success that's going to come. The fruit is very mesmerizing. That is why the chase. And now you put that into the seekers who are chasing enlightenment. Same vasana. The fruits, there is some expectation in the fruit. But once that gets cleared out, you are liberated. The liberation comes by not wanting enlightenment. Neither wanting bondage, neither wanting enlightenment. Just be. You're free. According to me, that is enlightenment. To be free from wanting or not wanting. Raga, dvesha. You are simply there. You simply are.
Thank you, Jacob ji.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for asking all these brilliant questions, very intelligent and deeper questions that brings out the same kind of answers, same resonance. Thank you.
Thanks, Lord.
Yeah, Nitaji. पकड़ना
Pranam ji.
कोई शाश को प्रणाम जी.
I have a question, something different. What is actually the sequence of questions? I wanted to ask during the daily routine of the day, Ramana, according to Upesh Saram, one can be in the I thought, and at some places it can be I amness. It's the same thing, or Nisargadatta's I amness during the day if you're keeping your awareness in your heart or the I thought.
See,
So
technically, it will sound very confusing because again, even if I say anything, whatever we talk, it is a play of words. So the more I try to tell about I, and the I amness, it's a word. And what will happen the moment I am talking, even if it is an experience, if I talk also, the mind will try to imagine it. Like even if I give an answer right now, the mind will be busy imagining the I and the I-ness and all those things. So that is adding to more of concepts. That is the reason I was telling we don't even need to hunt the I or the I-ness, nothing. Just reach till the level of I amness. That's what we are going to do on this Sunday. I just want to put those 2, 3 important, simple yet powerful practices, which then you have to simply do every day. Like a routine. Let's make that a routine. Then that gets inculcated into your system. It must become a part of our system. Then only we can expand and live in that awareness of that. So these are these kind of things where we are not going and aiming to know the I and where is that I and what happens, because that level of what we are talking is beyond the thought and beyond words. So how much ever we try to define it, it will come as a concept. The maximum concept we can define and reach up to is the I amness. I amness is simply the experience of my existence. Simply knowing I exist. I exist as what? I exist ke baad there is nothing. All is wiped out. So what is that I exist? I am a boy. I am a man. Man is removed. I am. The feeling of man or woman is not there. So we must, all our practices must go only to that extent of I amness, where the extending thought is cut off. The extending realization or experience of being something is removed. So if I'm sitting, I sit as nothing. I am. I just exist. I must exist. I must only be aware of my presence as this and that, not needed. So this has to be stabilized. Only when this is stabilized, the next step will start revealing itself. And that next step is very close to the Atman. That is the Shiva that I explained many times. That is the Shiva. This I amness is the Parvati, that existence. So they are very close. But there, now see what Shiva is telling Parvati? Nischal ho jao. Sit still. Sit still means no thought. So there is no investigation after that level. We reach till there and we surrender and we are there. Rest he will do. The pulling is his work. He says it will happen only when you become completely nischala. Nischala doesn't mean only not shaking here also. Not a single thought. Means if you're sitting in awareness of I exist, that's all. I'm existing. Experiences, I'm existing. You don't even say this. It is an feeling. It is awareness that I exist. That is the I-ness. So constantly being in this and constantly being aware of that I amness, that is Atma Vichara. When you are aware of the ego, I amness is ego, Sukshma ego. That is Anamala, that you are now aware. I am aware that I am. When that happens, that experience will collapse and nothingness will enter. You enter into a state of nothingness, but only thing, the awareness must continue in that nothingness. I exist. This awareness of I exist will drop, and that awareness of I am nothingness. There is an awareness there also. That is how Shiva is. That is the nature of Shiva, to simply be aware. I am. Shiva is also aware as I am. That is why we say only come to the level of I am. That's all. There it is easy to realize I am that I am. That Shiva's I am, and this is very close. That is the union. That's the marriage, Shiva and Parvati. So we need not worry about that. At least at discussion level, we need not worry. Experiential level, it will start happening from there.
Just continuing with this, it's a lot of stress, like even during the daytime, when this is what
Right.
when we are sitting down.
Okay.
But when you're throughout the day, when you are in activity, whenever you are there, doing something or the other, either professional or personal thing, then one has can be contemplative, or one can be in awareness of your heart or the like whatever place one wants to be there. I amness, that would not be a very deep I amness, because then you have to be still sitting down. But when you're working and you can have your awareness in your heart at the same time, that's a
Yes.
practice that goes on.
Yes. I'm very happy you admitted that about stress, because that is how it should be. Stress will be there till we exist. And it is very natural to have stress. Even the best of spiritual seekers, even great masters also go through stress. It should not be thought that everything you are free. Even I have, last 2 days, I am very stressed. I'm having my own stresses in my own whatever things. They do stress. ऐसा नहीं कि कुछ नहीं होता आपको. If कुछ नहीं होता, then you are I am that I am. You simply don't exist in this world. But it will happen. All these things happen. So there are these practices to remind you again and again. And these things will be there. There will be botheration. ऐसा नहीं है कि नहीं होता. You cannot say even the greatest mystics don't have anything. No, they were bothered. They also feel. Sometimes they feel concerned. They take tensions. I've seen even masters taking tensions, worrying and bringing the stress even on their body and mind. So, but it's not forever. It might happen and it will get washed away. It will happen, it will get washed away. So we must understand this so-called stress and all this is the part and parcel of human experience. We chose to have this human experience. So we cannot say we will come here and experience ourselves only as divine seekers. That is why I say that's bullshit. Anybody who, any seeker who says only divine, always happiness is faking. It doesn't happen. They are pretending and they're not showing the other part. The other also has to happen. That also happening is an indication that you are a human being. So it's human to have stress, but what we are learning is to go beyond that, to go beyond this existence of stress, to realize that if I again and again take this human body, I will have to go through this stress. That is why, that is my motivation as to why I should not take another human birth. This stress is a reminder I should not have another human birth. As simple as that. So I will not, I will never claim that I have no stress. No, I have stress. I feel pain. I feel a headache, and I can feel sad. I can have tears. I can cry. I can laugh. All these things do happen to me, and I'm aware that I go through these emotions. I can have divine thoughts. I can have lusty thoughts. I can have devilish thought. I can have very pure thoughts. I I know, I'm aware. These are all passing in my mind. That is a seeker. Seeker simply means that the one who has completed everything will shut up. That person cannot speak because the ego is gone. Why all this, the stress going, all these things going, means the ego is gone completely. And that person will be in mono. Even there is no attempt to make even a single utterance because that state is different. So till we reach that state, we are bound to go through all this. And awareness, intelligence is knowing. It is practical and it's normal. So how do we utilize this time? It's an experience. We're having a human experience. We are going through the experience. And the humanly experience is to outgrow that human experience. So that is also a parcel of the whole thing.
Another thing, is, can I continue?
Yeah.
There are, again, coming back to the same thing, when one is busy in one's activities during the day. So one thing is proposed is either one is aware of one's activities, like hands, like as Osho or Buddhism talks about this, that you are constantly aware of your body movements and every step you're taking. Second is you keep your awareness in your heart, in your I amness, even during working, if possible, not in the intense situations generally you tend to slip, but in general
For me,
activities.
basically, that is very stressful.
Okay.
Because the moment I have some entanglement and I want to get out of that. See, the indication of putting myself into the heart is an escape. It's very clear. Subconscious it is. I don't want to be entangled because something is disturbing me. That is why I want to put myself in a state of peace. But I don't have peace. My environment, it requires me to be in this work or this kind of situation. So subconsciously, I am escaping from that external in the so-called putting myself in that heart space or something like. For me, it is stressful because I can't remain there if I do that. Sooner or later, it will pull me out because that is a fake attempt. Consciously, it is a good intent, but the idea, subconscious idea is that there is something that I don't like and I want to be there. Whereas what we are talking in spirituality is about being there and seeing things the way they are. For me, it works. I don't know. For other people, it might work in some other way because there are so many approaches. It all depends on our certain perceptions and how we are built. So sometimes when I look into the world, I would rather want to look at the falseness of it at all times. And how, or the other way people love looking at is looking at everything as divine. So having realization that constantly moving in the mind that, oh, it is all manifestation of the same Lord and Shiva Sutra. When you're doing too much of that, you carry that outside also. You look at a child and you say, this is, see, the Lord is playing a game there as a child, my child only. So you are like somebody said today about that experience. Somebody wants to go it in that way. Somebody wants to go it in this way. Somebody might want to uh, stay connected, but I find that very stressful because what happens is when I am embedded in my heart, I would like to be in my heart. Why would I participate in that activity? I lose myself in that activity, and the moment I want to bring myself in my activity, I lose myself from the heart. So it's like a tug of war that's going all the time. I don't know if that works fine, but preferably I would prefer always seeing through the world as whole good projection of my mind. I
Thank
don't know.
you.
Probably you have attempted that and it's not working. That's why you asked that question.
No, I was just asking the difference between a lot of their. So it's okay. I understand. I get it. Thank you so much.
That's the whole ideology. There are many different ways. That is why we have so many webinars, right? And so many approaches. Because one webinar will not work for everybody. One way will not work. You can see me trying to give different angles and perspective of spirituality. Different angles I try to cover every time. Why? Because something will appeal to somebody and something has to work for somebody. So it's all about we finding. There's no right way. There is no this way. If I tell this the only way, then I am a fanatic. And I am asking everybody to follow one way. We have to all find our own. See, that's one thing I always wanted to tell, even to this group. Eventually, you will have to find your own path. You say, now, what is that? What another path? Another path, nothing means. It means your angle. What works for you? You'll have to keep experimenting and seeing what, and something will always work for you. That's how the concept of Vigyan Bhairav Tantra is. 118 methods, and one has to work for you. And here we are doing all the same things only. So finding your own path means finding what works for me and then following, then catching that. It might not necessarily be the next door person's method, or there are 40, 50 people sitting here. It might not be the next person. He might be doing something else from this platform only, but that appeals more to him. For me, I'm generalized, looking at everything is the same thing. That's what I'm trying to say. And I begin that by saying all the paths are same. All what they are doing tug of wars, all they're trying to get there only. So I don't see any differences in the paths. I cannot understand any differences. Basically, they are all working towards the same goal. That is why I don't agree. When somebody says my path is bigger, I don't agree with that. Same way, I don't agree here. When somebody says this is the only method it will work, so I will never project and say this is the only method that will work. In fact, my dharma here is to bring out all the possibilities, all the ways through this awareness and look at what you guys can catch. So that we all must catch as to this one thing works beautiful for me. Then you have the freedom without being judged. You do it in a path, you can't do it. In the path, there is only one way. You cannot even look there and here. Hey, don't look there. Don't look here. Don't go here. Don't go there. This is the only way. Sorry, boss. So it is like me telling, do only Atma Vichara. There is nothing. You have to do Atma Vichara. No, I'm saying you have bhakti, develop it. Go through bhakti also. Seva, you have bhav, go through it. And but then see Shiva in everything. Then your only sadhana is that. You look at everybody, you're going in the office. Oh my God. Like you're a doctor. Patients are coming to me. There comes the Lord in this manner. You're delivering a baby. There comes Shiva again in a new form to play another game. And you look with delight at that things and the consciousness, not the body level. What is the consciousness? If you actually see it is consciousness shining, Prakasha shining through that ignorance body. Now the baby has forgotten. Now it is going to play the same old drama. And you look at it and you say, oh my God, somebody has come to play the game. What all this now milestones this baby is going to have? How many years of travel? But in that, there is that bija that is hidden. The Lord that is silently, one day it will activate. I bow to that. Khatam. You become a karmi yogi. Whole concept has changed. So everything is fantastic. Everything is fantastic. And you have the freedom to choose here. You have the freedom to choose anything. You have the freedom to choose another path also. I tell go. I never tell people stay here. Whichever it appeals to you, cast that because the Lord is shining through everything. Thank you, Ji.
Thank you. Thank you.
Once again. Vishalji, did you raise it again or it is the old hand that's up? One second.
No, I'm sorry. I think it's a mistake. Sorry.
Okay, no problem. Yeah, Shilpa, you raised?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
I
Go
need
ahead.
small clarity. A few days back, and you keep on mentioning that in Shiva Sutra, it is mentioned that Shiva says, if you reach Shakti, you reach me. Right? You said that.
Right.
So there is also thing some time back you shared that Babaji was a Shakti Upasak first, right? And then he had a realization that Shakti said that you should worship Shiva as well. So how do we connect these two things, like where you say that Shakti, when you reach Shakti you reach Shiva, and when here it is a Shakti upasak, Shakti is saying no, you should worship Shiva also.
Good, you use the word upasak, not sadhak, because
So
that's the difference. Upasak
yeah,
means
correct.
duality.
So yeah, so I got the point, like the creator, the doer is involved in this, and that's the reason it is mentioned, or what? I mean, I felt
No,
that is the
that's a complete different approach, and I have never taken that approach, so I cannot comment on it. But this is the approach of upasak. Upasak always has different kind of emotions and experiences to the through the upasana that they are doing to whichever deity they are. Like Ramakrishna used to have his own vimarsha, his own experiences with Ma Kali. You cannot deny that also. That was his experience. But if you try to imitate, you will not get it. That is his state of upasana that he did with the mother Kali. And we must understand one thing, be it sadhak or upasak, whichever way you go through the non-dual way, dual way, we must understand that it's all consciousness only. Consciousness can speak through you or through something else. The consciousness, when it's trying to get through you, and if you're not capable enough to get it from here, it will naturally turn outside and still continue doing that. Both are strong experiences. Both you cannot deny, and you cannot say one is greater than the other. No, both are powerful experiences. But in both the methods, it is the same consciousness that is revealing something at a particular point, stage of evolution. So I might know it from my own awareness that this is my I amness, and the I amness is taking me to the Shiva. I exist as ego, I'm aware of it, so I can become aware of the Mahashakti within me. That's the Shakti itself that's playing it. And the one whom the Shakti is connected to is known as pure consciousness, which is Shiva. And somewhere I'm aware of that also. So my whole life here is to have this experience of the first hand experience. What can I get? I cannot subjectively have awareness. It's very difficult. Objectively, it's easier. So I can see Shakti. I can feel Shakti. I can feel energy. I can see my actions. I can see that prana is moving this. So prana I can identify. So I connect with this prana and I connect with Praneshwari. So there I'm having a vimarsha. I'm having this experience of this prana and Shakti and ego. For me, this path works well. Not necessary for everybody. For somebody who is an upasak, can see the same thing outside. And when you are so connected, one is you are connected here as subjective experience, one is you are connected as an objective experience. Both are consciousness and both will communicate to you. So here, my awareness, my vimarsha, my prana, my Shakti, my I amness is communicating through my awareness that this is how I should be doing. Intuitively, I do that. And there, that same consciousness is using whatever visions or experiences or voice, or you can call it Paravani, or you can call it Madhyama, or Vaikhari, Pashyanti, whichever mode of it's all perfect. There is no high or low. Now, I cannot comment on what must have been the exact experience of there. I cannot comment on what Ramakrishna exactly had, but from the view that they talk about, it is a deep experience. But it also doesn't mean that only the idol is going to talk to you. or the mother or the father will appear and talk to you, and you have to wait for ages till a mother appears and talks to you. Not necessary. It is all on your experience. If you are having the affinity of tuning within and catching all those things very sharply, that is your inner voice, inner guru, which Buddha followed. You can see even the concept of Buddhism, Jainism, and other isms. You can see it very clearly. Buddha very clearly proved it, disproved external experiences. You see, Buddha's experience was nothing external. It is nothing about visions. It is nothing about somebody appearing, disappearing. It's not at all. So that's another field where they are so contemplative and their awareness is so sharp. Buddhism is awareness completely. Jainism, Mahavira, awareness. That is why they both Jainism and Buddhism don't have gods. They don't have the concept of God only. It is all your consciousness and karma, two things that they focus on. So you cannot expect anything from these kind of people. Their experience is different. You ask Ramana and you ask Nisarga, their experiences are completely different. Ramana will nullify your appearances, like he did for Papaji. Krishna appearing in front of him, he will nullify and say that's your mana, it's your mind. So it's not real. True, it's not real, but the consciousness is projecting the same thing through the mind. It is delivering through the mind. So what if that mind appears outside and presents itself and communicates to me in whatever way? So this is the beauty of that duality and non-duality. Both work. That is why Ramakrishna used to say, the God without form, with form, is as real as the God without form. Ramakrishna always used to say this. That's his experience because he is having the best of both worlds, non-dual and dual experiences. Does that answer even close to what you were asking?
Yes, I got some clarity. I am being frank enough that I have still need clarity. Like the first question I answered, I totally got it, and I was sure yes, I have got it. But this maybe I need to contemplate more on this to get the realization.
Contemplate on what? What is the pinpointing precise? If you have got most of the thing, what is that which is lacking clarity?
The clarity in the sense, my point is again, Shakti, like Shakti, consciousness and awareness. Like Shakti telling that you need to worship Shiva also, and from the non-dual side that you reach Shakti and you reach Shiva. That I understood, but this part of duality, I am still not clear about.
Which part of duality you are not clear of?
This Shakti telling that you need to worship Shiva also.
So what is not clear in that?
So if it is a consciousness, then how it is still incompleteness. So maybe I feel the Shakti is saying you are still incomplete. You need to be complete, and so that's why. So I don't know, like consciousness.
Okay, I get it. See, what the whole thing about Shakti, if you cannot be one-sided, you see, this is the whole aspect of it. If it is Shakti, if I'm a worshipper of Shakti, that means I am not focusing on that part where the Shakti is going into. Means I'm not focusing on that witness part. There is a witnesser, there is the supreme consciousness. But I'm focusing on activities. From Shakti means what? Siddhis, powers, and world, samsara, theories, philosophies, concept, yantra, tantra, mantra, all these things is Shakti. It's a creation.
Yes.
Yeah, you have
Yes.
tangible experiences, but when you go to understand, there is an experiencer of all these experiences that are happening. Everything, all these things are there, but there is one aspect which is the real source. So that Shakti is only pointing to the real source. This much is not enough, because if you are still here only in the Shakti, you will miss that aspect. If you are
Perfectly,
only
I
in the
got it.
Chitta,
Yes.
the Sat is missed. And the Satchita Ananda combination comes only when you have both.
Yes.
So focusing on only one will take you close to the I amness, the highest state of I amness, but still you will be incomplete. You need to tap into the I. That's the Shiva. That's the message that came. Like, it's not. It's still going to lead you to incompleteness. The completeness is in Shiva, means that is where you are going to end. The source is there. So it is nothing. It's what we are talking, the same thing only. I amness. You go till I amness, and there is something higher than that. So right now we are becoming aware of I amness,
Yes.
the Shakti aspect.
Yes.
All what you are playing around here is all Shakti, these things. When are we experiencing Shiva? When we are Mauna. When we have zero thoughts.
Yes.
So here the focus is already there on Shiva. And who is telling me this? Nobody appeared from within the Lord. So it's the same thing. It comes from outside or from inside. You are led through the whole truth.
Yes.
And ultimately, if you see, who takes us to Shiva? Shakti only. Right now, who is talking here? Who's listening? Who's doing the practices? The doer. So
Yes.
the doer only takes you to non-doership, actually means. She's only guiding, right? When you do through this practice, that is exactly what is Devi Kalu. He does that, and purifies herself and comes to one level where she's close to Shiva. And she experiences that I am incomplete. And that is what exactly this message is also. That you are incomplete with just me. You are going to be complete with Shiva. Focus on Shiva. That is what exactly at that point Shakti is talking to Shiva. I need to come to you. But she evolved. She did a lot of things and evolved. So Shakti is important. Shakti is the primary source. Without Shakti, you cannot even fathom how it's going to be possible. How is it going to be possible? Imagine you don't have Shakti. What will happen? You'll be lying down, sleeping all day and night. You're like a lash. You're like a Shava. Shava cannot experience Shiva. For the Shava to experience Shiva, it has to become active. And that is Shakti. So Shakti is needed. But that's not the end. So if you focus only on the Shakti and think that we have reached, no. Shiva is inactivity. Shakti is activity. That is the same message given by Shiva to rishis. All they are in activity, activity, activity. And what does he come and say? There is a zone of non-activity. That is Shiva. So from doing, you move to being. Being is Shiva. Doing is Shakti. Are you getting it? Message is all the same.
Perfect.
Now,
Perfect. Yes, very much, very much. The moment you said witness, I had a flash. Yes, that was what was missing, and that's what Shakti pointed towards Shiva worship. Yes,
yes. See,
it's
these
very
are
clear.
all very
Very
beautiful.
clear.
Yeah, there are very beautiful examples of saints when they talk, but we must not conceptualize. That is the danger. People will start hallucinating and they will start creating stories. They might sit waiting for Shakti to come and tell them also something. When they have such kind of ideas, that's not the real meaning. And you can always see no two experiences are the same.
Yes, yes, yes.
No two enlightened beings will have exactly same experience. All masters will talk about their enlightenment, but you are never going to have the same enlightenment experience. It has never happened in history. But they are plucking. So when so many saints talk about so many dozens and thousands of experiences, I know that it's not going to exactly happen to me. Something else is going to happen. That shows the diversity of the consciousness, the presentation. Why can't it be? When no two genes are same, no two human beings are the same, no two grain of sand is the same, how can experiences be the same? You read autobiography, you read Living with the Himalayan Master, you read thousands of books, not one experience you're going to have same exactly as it. You might have little closer here and there. So then why do we read? Why do we listen to great masters? Inspiration.
Correct.
Clear?
Yeah, very much. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ji.
Total clarity. Thank you.
Fine. I'll be putting this in YouTube because today's questions were very crispy, and the answers also, I believe, went to that zone where it gives a lot of clarity to a lot of people. So, thank you everybody for joining this session and making this satsang happen, for your participation. So, there's a good participation that's going on here. Collective satsang. So, with this, no other questions, right? I didn't see anything in the chat. Okay, nothing here. Fine, we'll close it with a small prayer. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudayachate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. May we all be blessed. May we all evolve. May we all be free. See you then. Stay blessed.